Did you know that for this movie, the Herbie robot was portrayed through a combination of a wooden puppet, a remote-controlled animatronic with a functioning head and arms, and computer-generated imagery? Fantastic Four: First Steps was a movie that definitely intrigued me. This is like the third or fourth time Marvel has tried to make the Fantastic Four. It's really had an interesting journey. This whole franchise, these characters. Some say it's a cursed band of superheroes, but I gotta say, after watching this movie last night, I gotta say the curse is now broken. This movie really delivered and really surprised me at certain points too with how good this movie actually was. Fantastic Four: First Steps is starting off Phase 6 of the MCU. The theater I went to was packed, which is what I always love to see. I always want to go to a movie where we got a packed theater because you get more reactions, you get more, maybe you get some applauses, you get some oohs and ahs. That's what makes the theater experience amazing. And I wish that could happen for every movie, but it doesn't. But this movie brought out a lot of people. I was very happy just seeing everyone really just enjoying this movie. I have a lot of great things to say about this movie. There's only a couple things I didn't like, but I'll save those for the end. First thing I liked was the way this movie was approached in terms of the story and the aesthetic that was chosen. The story, it was a little bit of an origin story, but this is the first Fantastic Four movie that really wasn't an origin story. All the other iterations, which is a bunch of them, they're all origin stories. Well, I like that this movie doesn't go that route because it's been done to death, and like everyone knows how the Fantastic Four come to be. So we didn't really need all that, but we got some nice little homages in there to the first, a lot of 60s comics homages in there, which I really love. That really set the style and the just the aesthetic right away. And then it gave us enough backstory, gave us enough clips and flashbacks to be like, okay, cool, like we do still get how they got their powers, but this movie was not focused on how they got their powers because it was taking place 4 years after they got their powers. So they're basically, they're superheroes. People love them, and I love that. I love seeing how much they are loved and praised. And the thing that really makes this movie different is we get a pregnant Sue Storm. We get Franklin, a good amount of Franklin in this movie. The focus really was on Franklin because of the whole dynamics between him and Galactus and what Galactus was coming to destroy their Earth, take Franklin. I really like the shift in focus there. It made this story so much more entertaining, so much more interesting, and just a break from the typical approach to the Fantastic Four. And like I said, the aesthetic was really great. I mean, I love the combination of the Jetsons, Incredibles, retro, futuristic vibe. I mean, it was all there. It was really well done too. The color grading even too was, you could definitely tell like the color grading was kind of meant to point us towards that kind of style too. So lots of stylistic choices here, and they all were really executed well. The characters, I actually liked all the portrayals in this movie. I didn't have a huge issue with Pedro as Mr. Fantastic. I really liked Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, and of course Joseph Quinn as Johnny, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm. I think they all did a great job. It was surprising certain decisions to the characters. I know there's a lot of reshooting done, and these characters, I'm sure if we always seen the first iteration of this movie, it would have been very different. I know they were pushing Sue to be more of the head of the Fantastic Four. She had a lot of political ties. That didn't really bother me. I mean, they're definitely trying something different. And then Johnny, I was actually really happy that it didn't really change Johnny a whole lot. He wasn't like a strong womanizer, but they still kept some of that aspect to him. But also, originally I heard that they were going to make him pretty sensitive to other people's feelings. He wasn't sensitive to anybody's feelings in this movie. Like I'm glad they didn't ruin his character because he's my favorite member of the Fantastic Four, so I was very happy with that. Ben was awesome. The CGI looked great on him. They went the classic comic look for him. This movie was very like comic accurate, which I really appreciated that. I know the biggest character that people were not a fan of was Shia LaBeouf. Julia Garner's portrayal actually won me over. The one thing that really won me over was when the first time she comes and she's heralding Galactus and the line and how she sounds. It sent chills through my body. Like, that was really, really good. And they also fixed their CGI, so it looks a lot better. She's not as strong as Nora and Rad, but they're doing stuff differently. And, you know, why not go all the way and instead of having Nora and Rad, which everyone expected to have Shala Ball instead. I was happy with her performance. There wasn't anything she did that was like, oh, that was stupid, that bothered me or whatever. Like, I was all for like just going a completely different route, and I wanted to keep an open mind with how they were treating these characters and not be too judgmental about how they were doing it. Galactus, we finally got an amazing version of Galactus. We actually got him in his full glory. Tons of scenes with him. He looks so good. The CGI was great. The voice was great. Galactus is a huge, huge villain. He's a big deal. He had to be treated that way. And everything they gave us and how he was delivered, perfect. Honestly, just perfect execution of Galactus in this movie. Before I get into the things I didn't like, jump in the comments below. What is your favorite version of the Fantastic Four? So the first thing I didn't like about this movie is I felt like it was a little too short. It was only an hour and 55 minutes. That's not very long, honestly. And the reason why I say I think it was too short is I felt like they kind of rushed things in the beginning. I would have liked a little more nostalgic moments. They talk about Red Ghost, but they didn't actually show him. I know they cut out John Malkovich's part, and they should have kept that in. That would have been great. Kind of lack of world building, too. It's all just assumed, like, oh, well, you know, Reed had time to build this, build this, build this. Okay, we're just going to all, you know, we're not even going to worry about the backstory behind it or see him doing all of it. We're just going to take it for what it is. They were kind of pushing the plot, kind of fast forwarding through all that stuff to get to the main thing, which was Franklin being born, Galactus, how are they going to save their Earth and not give up Franklin as well. And then the second thing I didn't like was I felt like they kind of fumbled at the post-credit scenes. The mid-credit scene was perfect. I loved it. The second one, I was expecting something different. I'm not going to go into specifics because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But the second one, I was expecting a tie into Doomsday. The only other Marvel movie Doom is going to be showing up in before Doomsday is Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I just read that yesterday. So we're going to get him in a post-credit scene again. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more of him, which I would love to see that. But that's about it. Other than that, I was very, very happy with this movie. Marvel has finally done it. They've finally broken the curse of the Fantastic Four. So I highly recommend go out and see this movie as soon as you possibly can. So for Fantastic Four, first steps, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember to leave me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. See you soon.